All right, it is the 10th annual Turkey Day training session. Yes, for the last 10 years, I've been training on Thanksgiving morning, and I always have this annual event. Now, this annual event started like the late 80s, man. I mean, I was training real hard with my buddies, and then we would say, hey, let's get together on Thanksgiving morning. Let's train hard, and then we can break and go have our Thanksgiving meal with our families and be ready to chow. You know, that was always the thing. And it was sort of semi-regular all the way through the 90s. And then, of course, life gets in the way, and I had stopped doing it. Well, I picked that back up about 10 years ago. When I moved here, I started to do that again. I record and videotape my training for a lot of reasons. I've been doing this for 10 years, and I'm keeping this video footage for nostalgic purposes. Also, for me, I mean, I need to review my own techniques. I'm my own trainer, and the only way I can see how I'm doing is to look at it from the outside in. So from the camera, looking at me, I can recheck my technique. So today I recorded my 10th annual, and what I want to start with today, I'm just going to start with my prep, because there was some great insight I had while I was prepping, and I let the camera roll. You'll hear my motivational stuff in the background. Sorry, it's kind of loud at times. Couldn't quite reduce that volume too much. So you're going to enjoy the message. That's what's most powerful about me putting this up on my Facebook page or in my on my YouTube channel, is I want people to understand, you know, some of the insights that I get either before I train or during my training. Things come up. So that way I can share it with all y'all. All right, and this being Thanksgiving, let's give thanks for all the family members that we still have. Let's give thanks for all the lovely things that we do have, as chaotic as this world is. Let's stop for a moment. Take a nice deep breath, diaphragmatically, of course. And as you exhale, I want you to exhale all that no longer serves you this day and embrace those that you have around you. Make a phone call today. Reach out, hug, shake hands, and stay connected with your fellow beings, especially your family. All right? Thank you, everybody, for your support. All right, let's enjoy this. There'll be more to come later. Bye for now. All right. It's the 10th annual Turkey Day training again. So, since I moved to Asheville, I kept up my annual Turkey Day training that I used to do back in I think it was the early 90s. We used to get together on Thanksgiving to train. And I talked about this in other video posts that I've done with my training. But we would get together and train on Turkey Day because the idea was, let's get a good workout in, let's get a good appetite brewing for the afternoon family activity of Thanksgiving. Well, now I do it more for thanks. And I'm thankful that I'm still here doing this. I'm still training like a madman. I'm about to enter my pre-B-Day training cycle like I've done for the last 10 years, where I get to my ultimate training potential at the end of the year, training heavier and high intense. And I'm coming up on my 60th birthday with a lot of pride and dignity when turning a grand 60. It's a magic number for me. And also, with this being the 13th year, the 12th year in business, so what we have is my favorite numbers, 3, 6s, and 9s, which are spiritually empowering. This is going to be a pivotal end of the year for me as I come into my 60th year. There's going to be many changes happening
I'll be getting up to date on that. These are big changes, bigger than my relocation to this new sacred space. But with all that being said, here I am once again, prepping for my training, getting ready to get out of hand, listening to my motivational speeches and music. And as I enter this macro cycle of intensity for pre-B-Day, I'm reminded of my time when I was training for my black belt. And I was watching a quick little clip of an old Rocky movie, the first one, and it reminded me of that period of my life when I was training for my black belt, because all I would listen to was Rocky, especially Rocky 4 or Rocky 3, whatever. And that little clip yesterday reminded me of the Eye of the Tiger, the empowering Brian within to break through and conquer as I conquer what I need to conquer in my training. You know, conquer these obstacles of resistance is no different than conquering the obstacles of life. And that I'll always be a fighter. I'm not saying that from an ego yang perspective only. But I'm saying that from an empowering spiritual being having a human experience, that I will fight for my freedom, that I will fight for my spirituality, not with force, but with empowerment. Like this training session, I don't force anything to happen, because I'm working against the forces of gravity and resistance. What I'm doing is I'm setting my mind right. Getting my mind right and being empowered with overcoming today's resistance. And it's the same thing I use in real life to overcome the challenges that I face and I have faced in my life. And that I'm stronger now. And that I have more emotional maturity and more spiritual maturity. And with all that enhanced beingness, just like when you get to your next level of weight, like somebody says, well, I just squatted 265, man. And next year I'm going to squat 285. Well, with every level there's another level. So when you want to go up in levels, just know that there'll be odds against you. Because once you've accomplished something and you want to move on to be better, there's always more difficulties along that way. Not a perpetuating difficulty. I'm not saying you're setting yourself up for disaster. What I'm saying is when you want to get stronger mentally, physically, just know that with every level there's more weight to push. And with every level of confidence that you have in this three-dimensional world of their reality, just know that when you want to go to the next level, that there'll be tests put in front of you. And these tests are obstacles to see whether or not you can either force your way through them and not accomplish them or learn or grow from them, or to be empowered from them and have a sense of autonomy and balance and homeostasis of mind, spirit, and body. These obstacles that we encounter in life are there. It's exactly happening at the right time. We're not allowing it to happen. We're not aware of ourselves why it's happening, which was part of my spiritual insight this morning. Man, I had such an insight when I sat down and logged in this morning, and I wrote a lot about this topic, this perspective of the mind and awareness and observation. That when I'm going through something, what I do now compared to when I was younger is now I observe myself going through it. I observe how angry I may be feeling or how frustrated I may be feeling. Never denying those feelings. But as I'm aware of them, I'm also preventing them from getting out of control. I'm also preventing them from controlling me. Because I'm aware that it's happening, I can in a moment's notice shift and begin to redirect my thinking and say something like to myself, like, what is this here to teach me? Right? That's awareness. It's not a matter that, oh, I never have problems, I never get angry, I never get frustrated, I never show my vulnerability. I certainly show it a lot less now than I ever have in my life. But the difference now is I'm aware. And by being aware, I can cultivate at a moment's notice patience, peace, forgiveness, and compassion, which is all part of what I call the practice, which is done on a daily basis. And with every day you practice your skill set, you get better at it. You get better at it. But comparatively, right now, what I'm about to adventure towards, as far as the change in my life, this is a huge pivotal change. One that must be done. One that I must embrace, as uncomfortable as it may be. It showed up exactly on time. I ask and I set out my intentions every day. And sometimes the universe, not even sometimes, the universe puts obstacles in your way to see whether or not you have the tenacity to get that which you intend. It takes work. It takes discipline. It takes dedication and commitment. And that you can't learn overnight. That has to be honed. That has to be polished. That has to be worked on constantly. So, take that as an insight. This is Brian Schwager now, aka Schwaggy Dogs and Wang Fu of the past, transforming himself into who he is now.
All right, so we're going to do this in snippets, so I hope you enjoyed the insights I shared during my prep. And in the next video footage that will come later, I'll start sharing some of what I did in my training session itself. All right, thanks again, and I want to give thanks to all my clients, all my family members, everybody that supported me this past year, going through everything that I went through, whether it was my growing or learning through my challenges. I give thanks for that. I also give thanks to the fact that I have such a divine connection with my higher self, source energy, or God, depending on how you look at it. But I'm so thankful that I'm connected. That's why I'm here still doing this. All right, you guys enjoy your day, and I'll be back to share some more footage from my 10th annual Turkey Day training.